The story begins on a busy Philadelphia street. Jerry and his family are about to go out, but the crowded roads are blocking their way. Jerry turns on the radio and hears a news report. Rabies has broken out in 12 countries around the world. The outbreak has become uncontrollable. Old Jerry was listening in fascination. Suddenly, a motorcycle whizzes by, scraping off the car's reflector. He wanted to get out and argue, but the biker had already disappeared. As Jerry is about to return to the car, there's a violent explosion in the distance, signaling a riot. The quiet street suddenly becomes agitated. Traffic police urge everyone to get back in their cars, but the next moment, they're hit by a speeding truck. As a UN investigator, Jerry senses the danger. He hits the gas, following the runaway truck to escape. Just then, an ambulance suddenly springs out, and two cars collide in an accident. Luckily, the Pitt family isn't seriously injured. At the same time, the zombie virus is spreading massively, turning Philadelphia into chaos. The zombies are among the crowd, incredibly fast and agile, attacking humans with reckless abandon. Anyone targeted by zombies has almost no chance of survival. The mutation speed is extremely fast. Once bitten, it only takes 12 seconds to turn into a zombie. In the panic, Jerry finds an RV and flees Philadelphia with his family. Within minutes, the city has completely fallen. They escape to the outskirts, temporarily safe from the zombie attack. Eric, a top UN official, calls and says he'll send a helicopter for Jerry within an hour. As a retired investigator, the organization needs him now, but his daughter has an asthma attack. They go to a store to get her medicine. Inside the chaotic supermarket, they have to split up. Jerry gets the medicine while his wife grabs food. As Jerry exits the pharmacy, he sees two criminals robbing his wife. Without hesitation, he shoots one, and the other runs away. When they come out, they find their RV has been stolen. Jerry contacts Eric, who says the helicopter might not make it until morning. With no choice, Jerry takes his family to a nearby apartment for shelter. They are taken in by a Mexican family upstairs. By early morning, Jerry suggests the family come with him, but they refuse. Respecting their wishes, Jerry starts preparing equipment to fight the zombies. As they set out, they open the stairwell door, and a zombie jumps at them. Jerry quickly shoots it, but the sound draws more zombies. They run desperately to the rooftop, but the zombies are too fast. Jerry covers them from behind, narrowly escaping when a Mexican child shoots a zombie. The child survived when zombies stormed his home after Jerry's family left. On the rooftop, Gary's wife signals with a flare, and a helicopter spots them. Gary runs to the edge of the building, counting from 1 to 12 to check if he's infected, as blood splashed into his mouth during the fight. Relieved that he's okay, the helicopter arrives. As zombies swarm in, Jerry blocks the door to let the others go first, then quickly runs to the helicopter. Under cover of the soldiers' fire, Jerry is rescued. The helicopter lands on an aircraft carrier at sea, the safest place for now. The situation is far worse than Jerry had imagined. The virus is spreading globally, and even the president is dead. The government has no information on the virus, with the only clue being an email from South Korea calling the infected zombies. To stop the disaster, the Supreme Commander wants Jerry to lead a doctor to investigate the cause. If they can find the virus source, they might develop an antiviral serum. Jerry initially refuses, not wanting to leave his family. But there's no room for idle hands on the ship. If he wants safety, he has to work for the government. With no choice, Jerry agrees. After saying goodbye to his family, he got on a plane to Korea. The doctor was confident about this mission. He felt that the virus was like a killer in nature, leaving some kind of clue. Once he found it, everything could be solved. When Jerry heard that, he thought the doctor was very capable. But as soon as the plane reached its destination, a large number of zombies pounced on him. The young doctor had never seen such a scene before. Panicked, he turned around to return to the cabin but slipped, and the gun in his hand went off, sending him to God on the spot. Luckily, the American troops stationed there met them and brought them safely to the camp. Although the doctor was dead, the mission had to continue. However, everything in the lab had been reduced to ashes. The captain told Jerry that the man in the hospital bed was the first infected person at the camp. He had been a medic sent to verify the cause of death of a soldier, not knowing that the soldier had mutated. The medic was bitten, infected with the virus, and came back to the camp to attack the others. They managed to knock the zombies down and burn them, barely stopping the zombies. Since all the clues had been burned, the captain didn't know how the soldier was infected. Just when Jerry thought he'd go home with nothing, a CIA intelligence officer in custody had something to say. He explained that Israel had walled itself off before the virus outbreak. The entire country was completely sealed. If Jerry wanted answers, he needed to go to Israel's capital and find a man named Tom. Before leaving, they needed to fill up the plane's fuel tanks. To reduce the noise, they rode their bikes in the direction of the plane. While on their way, Jerry's phone rang, instantly awakening nearby zombies. The resident soldiers immediately fired to cover while the captain refueled the plane. Jerry and the others reached the cabin safely, but at the cost of all the resident troops. After an overnight flight, the plane landed safely in Jerusalem. Jerry instructed the pilot to stay until he returned before nightfall. Acting as a UN investigator, he found Tom with the help of the local troops. Tom explained that Israel had intercepted information between Indian generals mentioning a battle with zombies. Jerry was skeptical. How could an entire country build a wall based on an unconfirmed intelligence report? Tom explained that Israel has a 10th man rule. If 9 people saw the same information and reached the same conclusion, the 10th person's job was to disagree and prove the others wrong. Tom was that 10th man, which is why Israel was the only country in the world that remained safe. They had built up fortifications and were receiving refugees. But then the army of zombies outside the wall became agitated. Inside, refugees celebrated survival, singing loudly into a microphone, drawing thousands of zombies to one place. Like a human ladder, they quickly scaled the wall. The last fortress was about to fall. Jerry was the first to notice something was wrong, but it was too late. Zombies leapt from the walls and attacked the humans. Everyone ran frantically, and helicopters tried to contain the horde but couldn't. The zombies swept in like a wave, and the soldiers' bullets were useless. Jerry, escorted by soldiers, quickly left the scene. During their escape, Jerry noticed that zombies didn't attack an old man and a frail, bald boy. However, escape was his priority. A female soldier covering him was bitten by a zombie on her finger. In desperation, Jerry cut off her arm, effectively preventing her from turning after 12 seconds. But the helicopter meant to rescue them got caught in the horde and crashed. The plane waiting at the airport left early. Desperate, Jerry spotted a passenger plane taking off nearby. Soldiers forced the airliner to stop, and Jerry boarded safely. Looking down, he saw all of Israel had fallen. While treating the female soldier's wound, Jerry thought about the old man and child who hadn't been attacked and remembered the doctor's words. He had a bold idea. He used a satellite phone to call Eric, requesting information on nearby WHO locations, and instructed the captain to land at the closest World Health Center. Then trouble struck again. A puppy on the plane found something in the cabin. When the flight attendant opened the restroom door, a zombie lunged out. The unusual shaking signaled danger, waking everyone up. Jerry slowly approached and opened the curtain to see, oh my God! He instructed everyone to keep quiet. Then together, they tried to block the entire passage with boxes. But one of the boxes accidentally fell on the ground, attracting the attention of the zombies. The zombies instantly broke through the defensive line, and the cabin turned into a zombie frenzy. The situation was bad. Jerry grabbed a grenade and threw it without hesitation, creating a gap in the plane, sucking zombies out with the powerful airflow. Although they avoided the immediate zombie attack, the plane was about to crash. Jerry and the female soldier immediately strapped on their seatbelts, bracing for impact. Once again, Jerry was lucky to survive, though his abdomen was pierced by a piece of iron. As fortunate as he was, the female soldier was too, and the two helped each other reach a nearby WHO center, where survivors inside saved them. Since the plane had lost contact, the top commanders assumed the mission had failed, and Jerry's family was thrown off the ship and placed in the nearest refugee camp. Jerry slept for 3 days and nights, and upon waking, his first move was to contact Eric to let him know he was still alive. When he found out his family had been kicked off the ship, he was furious, but there was nothing Eric could do. At least his family was safe for now, and the mission had to continue. The reason Jerry was at the center was to find a deadly pathogen that, while dangerous, could also be cured. He thought zombies ignored certain people because they already carried deadly viruses, making them unsuitable hosts. If they injected a pathogen into a healthy body to disguise it as a sick one, they could avoid zombie attacks. It sounded like a good idea, but there was a problem. The pathogens were all in Area B, already overrun by zombies. They couldn't abandon the mission now. Jerry strapped on anti-bite gear, grabbed a weapon, and prepared to go with the female soldier and a researcher. Walking through a long corridor, they cautiously moved towards Section B. The zombies, highly sensitive to sound, posed a tense challenge. When the researcher accidentally touched a cabinet, the sound attracted a walker, and the female soldier shot it, activating all the nearby zombies, which ran toward the pathogen warehouse. The walkers would soon catch up, so Gary stepped up again, making noise to draw them away, letting the other two head to the warehouse. Jerry quickly ducked into a lab, barricading himself as the walkers closed in. But trouble awaited the female soldier and the researcher too, as a group of zombies blocked their way. With no choice, they retreated, leaving the mission in Jerry's hands. With the zombies lured away, Jerry reached the pathogen warehouse without any issues. Unable to contact the others, he was unsure which pathogen to take, so he grabbed several bottles. Just as he was about to leave, a zombie appeared at the door. Without a weapon, Jerry took the risk of injecting himself with a random pathogen. After a brief moment of hesitation, he wrote a farewell note to his family, picked a vial at random, and injected himself. Once he felt ready, Jerry opened the door. It seemed he was right, the zombies bypassed him entirely. The team watching was amazed. Calmly, Jerry drank a can of Coke and made noise to attract the walkers in the hallway. Luck was on his side. The pathogen he injected was curable. In the end, Jerry was reunited with his family. The World Health Organization mass-produced the vaccine and distributed it worldwide. But the crisis didn't end there. The virus's origin remained a mystery, and humanity's fight continued.